Awesome. And we are recording. Beautiful, brother.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to have this conversation with you, eh? And for anybody who's listening, we're both doing the whole podcasting thing now. So it's not really like one of us is interviewing the other. We're just going to bounce off each other. And I really like that anyway. And I guess, yeah, like you said, we'll just start off and give a quick intro into why we're doing this whole podcast thing and while we were just kind of speaking our truth and putting stuff out there. And yeah, do you want to start us off, bro? Do you want to start us off with a little bit about what's driving you to kind of want to share your knowledge?
Yeah. So first of all, my podcast is going to be Enrich Raw. So kind of like I just want to help enrich people's lives. But I've got to the stage where, man, I feel like we need some rawness, some truth, some logical explanations, not too much, spirituality, and just balancing out life, really, I guess, in a way which people understand it, and in a way which I can help optimize their lives mentally, physically, and emotionally. That's what I'm willing to share, and I feel that I'm in a good position to do this from my years of travel, from leaving my family, my friends in UK like 15 years ago now, and what I've gone through and experienced and what I want to share now. And I'm real confident to share that. And I feel that it's my duty kind of to share it now. I feel responsible when I hear just today someone else has committed suicide. And it's just like, man, if they could have just read a post, if they could just seen something to inspire them. And so that's my mission is just to share what I've learned, really, basically. And yeah, in a way people can understand it.
Beautiful, brother. Yeah, and totally in alignment with what I want to do as well. For me, it's about just giving people the keys back for their own healing and their own health and well-being, and I've really it's been part of my own journey of just self-awareness, self-discovery, martial arts, going through injuries, and just eventually learning. And over the last couple of years, really coming into this idea of a holistic model of how you look after yourself. And the more you go into it and looking at these really basic foundation principles, like you said, bringing a really simplistic way of how can we look after ourselves, getting in the sun, movement, breathwork, nutrition, all of these really basic things. But the more you dive into them, the more you realize there's so much to learn and there's so much to know. And it's really empowered me, and it just makes me want to heal the world as well, and help people in any way that they might resonate with. And I think a big thing for me as well is the fact that I can see that we're totally out of alignment with ourselves and nature. You look around the world, there's people starving, there's pollution, there's all kinds of toxic stuff going on. And it's really obvious now, and I think a lot of people are waking up to that. And to make any kind of change, we have to use ourselves as the center point. Our health and well-being has to be the center point before we can move forward. And like you said, somebody committing suicide, that's a massive thing for me too, bro. Like seeing people suffering in my community. I put one post out, and like even lately I've had people message me just telling me that they're depressed and they appreciate something that I posted. It's like that alone is enough for me to say I should be sharing some of this knowledge, because we know the holistic model works, and we know that this stuff is real, and we're getting back to the basics that we need.
Yeah, I feel that I'm so connected to you through this journey that like you are me speaking back to myself.
Yeah, such a mirror, eh?
Yeah, that's why I'm so amped to do this with you, because it's like what you're saying is like encouraging me to do what I want to do. It's like go and listen to yourself for an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that brings us to breathwork, breathwork,
Yeah.
which I'm really excited to get into, bro. And as you know, like it was you that really took that off for me. It was doing that breathwork class with you, the deep immersion one, that really woke me up to like that was just the breath, and it's become something that is the center point now for me. It's like it's a non-negotiable every day. it's part of my daily practice, you know. And we'll get into the health benefits and stuff, but for me, it's like, I love how Wim Hof says you are the alchemist, you know. It's just,
Yeah.
it's such a foundation, just like the sun, just like water. It's literally like our first level of nutrition, you know. The positive charge from the oxygen in the air, the negative charge in our body, and how we're literally giving nutrients and vitality to every cell in our body. You know, the prana in India, and it's like we're literally just, we're so detached from that, and it's such a key element into our health, you know. Um, but yeah, there's so many things we can get into, but I think, yeah, it'd be really cool to hand it to you as far as all the health benefits, because and we can just bounce off some of the health benefits. But I know you've been doing breathwork for a long time, eh?
Yeah, totally. Have been doing it for a long time. So I always pick up on what I'm bouncing off you now. So much like respect, Wim Hof. Thank you for making this worldwide knowledge. You know, thank you for
Hard on.
stepping out
Yeah.
there. Oh man, I've learned so much just from him myself. And for people listening, this is not airy fairy. The breath is not airy fairy. You're listening to two warriors now who have been fighting for years using their breath. And I would say I was using my breath unconsciously. And now what I'm doing is I'm using this warrior breath consciously to share and help people just become better versions of themselves. So you listen to this from two warriors speaking how they've transformed their breath into a more holistic way of being a warrior.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's the way I see it. So um, the reason I want to share this is because the power came through the breathwork is because I was open to change. I want to change. I went for a deep relationship breakup with the mother of my children, and I realized that if I wanted to improve my life, I needed to change. There's something I had to change about me. So I was open, and I was willing, and I was ready to surrender to whatever I needed to shift out of my life. So I was actually on my way to Peru to do a medicine journey with my friend from O2 Awakening. He messaged me. He was like, hey, on your way to Peru, come and see me. I've been doing breath work out here. I'm teaching it. That's my friend Lucas. You'll see him. You can Google this guy. He's doing amazing work. And he was like, come and do breath work. So I went over there, and we was going to do a training camp over there as well. We did some kickboxing camps. So we went on the whole holistic approach of catching up with each other. Let's do breath work. We did water ceremonies, and we did kickboxing. And so I'd never done breathwork before, and he was like, seriously, bro, this is like the most powerful thing ever. I was a little bit skeptical, you know, because I was like, oh, I want to go and do the medicine and get out of my mind and learn about things that way. So he's like, no, but I trusted him because he was a friend. So I trusted my friend. He said, we're going to lay down. I'm going to take you through a circular breathing with no pause. Just like that, mouth open. All you're going to do is breathe. And I was like, cool, how long does this go for? He said 45 minutes. I was like, what? Pretty skeptical about lying in front of my friend breathing with my eyes closed. You know, I actually feel a bit vulnerable, you know, a bit like, yeah, so it was a strange first sensation. And he goes, bro, it's just going to take you down because I didn't understand the vagus nerve. He goes, it's going to take you out of your head. It's going to take you into your nervous system, into your library of emotions, which have been stored there, which you probably can't open up during a simple meditation. You can't get into these emotions which are stored in your body. He's like, honestly, just breathe with me and let the breath take you. You play some gentle music. He goes, right, bro, here we go, through the diaphragm. And he goes, and then so he took me through that, and he goes, right, now speed it up. So it was like straight away, the focus on the breath takes you out of your head, because your brain's not got time to think without a pause. Without a pause, your brain's not got a chance to think. Anyway, because I was ready to surrender, I want to change. And I was like, okay, I'm going to trust in my friend. Within 2 minutes, my breath had taken me into my emotions, and I was just crying. This tattooed, muscly guy on the floor, just crying, because I got in touch with these emotions which I couldn't really connect with in my daily life because I was so busy doing stuff. And I had massive breakthroughs of just forgiveness, forgiving myself, forgiving my partner, and all that. And it just went down that chain, and it was so powerful. I was like, right, I have got to do more of this, and that's where my path began.
Yeah, beautiful, brother, beautiful. Yeah, there's so much to say there too with the emotions, but I mean, there's I love the whole idea of the big 45-minute to an hour process that you're going through. And before we get into that, I just want to say, like, there's something powerful about doing just a quick breath work in the morning. Like for myself, if I do a breath work in the morning, it creates such an aliveness and such a momentum that I'm more likely to stretch and I'm more likely to be productive. I get the mental clarity, I'm present, just being present with the breath, and everything else through my day is just so much smoother, and I can carry that aliveness, you know. And yeah, it's such a powerful thing. Um, the parasympathetic nervous system, you know, like the central nervous system that is switching, we're in that sympathetic state so often, you know. And I think one thing that's so important, that people probably don't realize, is how often they are in a stressful state. And people might be thinking, I don't feel stressed, but even if you're not getting enough nutrition into your blood chemistry, then you're in a stressed out state, you know. And even if it's micro stress or something like that, basically what happens when for people who don't know, when we're in that sympathetic state, we're shutting down digestion. Blood rushes to our extremities. We start storing fat, because in the ancient times we would have had to run away from the enemy, or we would have had to run away from the saber-toothed tiger, and we would have had to store all the fat. And to be in that state, our hormones aren't working properly. Our mental function isn't there, and you can feel it. You know, like when we switch into the parasympathetic nervous system, it's rest and digest. It's the kind of feed and breathe, relax, mental clarity state, and you can literally breathe for 3 minutes and you can feel it. It's the whole, you understand it intuitively that this is a powerful practice, you know. And when you talk about going down the long, deep journeys of a 45 to an hour breath work, you're really tapping into like those, like you said, I love how you said the library of emotions. You
Yeah.
know, I recently just read a book, The Mastery of Love, Don Miguel Ruiz. Powerful
Oh,
book, man. Powerful book. Talking about how our emotional body it picks up wounds throughout our life. And
yeah.
that's a lot of why a lot of people are walking around with these wounds, and that's why we get triggered, and that's why we get insecure and fearful. Really, it's fear from these unresolved emotional wounds that we carry in our emotional body. And when we breathe really deeply, and like you said, with the right intention, with the vulnerability, you can let it go, and you can. It's a tangible feeling. It's something that you can feel, and you know, like every time I do it now, I feel lighter. You know, I really feel lighter. Like you don't realize what you've been hanging on to until it's gone, until you feel the weight of that release. And like you said, you ended up crying, bro, and it's like that's the vulnerability, eh? And you realize the power in this, eh?
Yeah, and you're crying. Your heart's just talking.
Yes,
I love
yes,
that. Your tears is just your heart having chance to talk rather than your ego.
love that.
Hey, I love that. Bro, and just touching, so I just keep picking up on what you just said. Like these stored emotions, our out, our life is a reflection of our emotions. So
Yes.
if we're reacting upon stored emotions, our life is going to be a reflection of that, of
Mm,
pain, of arguments, of drama, because we've not dealt with these emotions which we've not had chance to look at and let go of.
mm,
You know, something comes up, could be a bit of anger. If we've got anger towards parents, towards our partners, if we got the anger stored in there, every business opportunity, every person we meet will have that stored, and we will be reflecting upon that. So if we can just let go of that pain towards what my dad did to me when I was younger, then I can let go of that and forgive me, forgive him. That's where he was consciously. It's not his fault. Let it go. Bam. There, I'm going to be a new person moving forwards. And
absolutely.
then, yeah, then the more you go through life, it's like, oh, fuck, I don't need that. I'm reacting to my kids because of this emotion. Fuck, let's let go of that. Here's my medicine. Use my breath. Bomb, let go of it. New father.
Yes, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it, eh? You know, and every time I do those deep immersions with you, I really can feel the difference afterwards. I feel more like my authentic self, and my creativity goes through the roof. I'm really letting go of that conditioned self, that conditioned mind, the contracted emotions. And it's amazing. There's no limits on how I feel about my future anymore. There's no limits about just being myself and just being creative with what I want to do in the world. There's no like, it feels like all the boundaries kind of get let down a little bit. And I get a real good glimpse at my potential. And that's an incredible thing, bro. And I'd love for you to talk about the vagus nerve, because I still don't have a full understanding of it, but I know the vagus nerve is something that we're activating that is extremely powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. So the cranial nerve coming from, so I just speak logically. I'm not, and I don't speak from a book. I speak from how I believe it works for me, and what I've learned over the years. So we've got this big nervous system running from our head between our ears, running down the main nerve, running down through our heart, all the way down through our vital organs, into our stomach, our solar plexus, into our soul, and these filter out into the vital organs. And obviously, if we've had some kind of nervous breakdown or memory, which could go down our nervous system and be in other vital organs, be stored in there in our stomach, and be stored, stored all around our body. And when we breathe, we are unable to, the word for it, I don't know. We're able to access. There you go. We're able to access our vagus nerve through our breathing, and this allows us to travel to the places which might need to be let go of. But also, if it doesn't always have to be a negative or a traumatic experience, it could be like, I want to reset my vagus nerve so I'm a stronger version of myself today. So in every situation, I'm reacting from a reset vagus nerve. There's no nervousness in my reaction towards this situation. And that's the way I see life, And this could be from a fighting perspective. Just before you get into the ring, I don't want to be nervous. I reset my vagus nerve, and I'm going in there like reset. I reset how I'm going to approach my partner in this discussion I'm going to have. My kids are misbehaving. I'm going to reset myself before I have a chat with them. Yeah. So that's my experience of the vagus nerve.
That's beautiful, bro. And I was just about to say reset, and you said it. It's like, yeah, we're on the same page, but the whole, like, that's what it feels like too. It feels like a big primordial reset for yourself. And that's so cool as well. To bring it into because it really is like a skill that you develop, right? And now you can put it into your everyday. Like you said, it's something that you can do throughout the day. I do it before my classes. I get all my fighters to do it before they go in the ring. When we finish training, I do it to help recover the body, to put it back into a restful state before we go to sleep. It's such a powerful thing that helps enhance everything else. And detox as well, one of our detox pathways is through the breath. So as we release carbon dioxide, we're releasing toxins out of our body as well. And as you know as well, detoxification is wildly important, especially for longevity. It's probably more important than nutrition, So it's just one of those fundamental things that's so powerful. And I'd love to talk about the setting, bro, because I've started doing it now as well, bringing groups into a group setting where we're taking them through this breathwork journey. And there's so much going on there. It's not just the breath. We're bringing people and we're creating an environment where there's no judgment. An environment where they can set their intentions. They're safe. They can be vulnerable. They've come there. Even showing up is part of it. It's having the courage to go there and say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it with a whole group of people. You set the setting. We have the music. The music is so powerful as well. When you go into those deep states and just to really go through that with other people. It just makes the whole thing so much more powerful, and to be able to let go of your own emotions and really, access the vagus nerve and access all of these primordial functions in our body while going through it with a whole group of people, and everybody's letting go and everybody's being their true self and letting things go. It's powerful beyond words, like unless you've done it, you can't really understand it. Um,
I've never had any negative feedback. It's always been positive, even for people doing this the first time, even if it's down to I fully relaxed.
yes,
So if it's a first time experience, just you walking away fully relaxed is resetting your nervous system. That has had a full relaxed. And then the next time you go and do it, it's like you'll go, oh, I'll go a bit deeper this time because I'm kind of in tune with it. And then you'll go deeper. And then you might have an emotional release. And you could release pure sadness. Then you go back again and release pure joy. So it's a continuous process, which brought me up on the thought when you were just talking then, is this isn't a one hit wonder. It's not like a quick fix.
yes,
This is like, you wouldn't go into the gym and going once and come out pumped and stay pumped forever and stay strong. You've got to continue going back and get stronger and get stronger. And that's with the breath work. The more and more you do it, the more flexible you get to accessing that vagus nerve, the more reward you get from it. So the more you go to the gym, the stronger you get, the more reward you get energetically. The more you do the breath work, the more in tune you get with your body and the more reward you get.
yeah.
Yeah.
Strengthening those pathways, eh? And it really is like a practice, eh? And that's why I love the fact that it's really developing life skills. And one thing for me that we're probably going to talk about, and a lot of things in the future, is intention. And when you go into a breathwork with the right intention, I'm setting this intention that this is going to be, it's going to be graceful, it's going to be a graceful experience, but it's going to be powerful. I want to let go. I want to charge myself up. And I might have my goals in mind, but when you really set that intention and when you're really open to it and clear, you always get that out. It's amazing to see what you get out of it. And so now I take that into everything that I do. I set my intention in the morning of how I want my day to go, set my intention before I work out. Like I had a workout the other day after we talked, and I really took on what you said about, I'm going up to the deadlift bar, but it's not about, there's coffee running through my body and the music's playing. It's more about I'm present with what I'm doing, and I'm talking to my body saying, we're here to get strong, we're here to heal, and I'm trying to lift functionally for functional strength and having that intention. And I had the best workout ever.
Yeah.
So
Tell
just
your body,
intention.
you tell your body, I'm working you out now. I'm so grateful
Yeah.
for your body. I am working you out because I love you being strong.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love you being strong. I love it. Thank you, buddy. And I'm going to make you stronger because I respect you and I want you to stay strong.
Yes. Yes. And it's like the breath can hold that intention too. Hey, hiya.
Hi, Kyle.
Oh whoa, minions.
Hello, minion.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, so it's just one of those daily practices now that I do every day. Also pranayama. I know you probably got experience with that because you went to India, didn't you?
Yeah, I did India. Yeah, I did the
Yeah.
21-day silence in India.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of research into the whole pranayama thing, breathing through the nose, because what we're talking about is in through the mouth, out through the mouth. Very powerful. We can get a lot out of that. Breathing through the nose, we're really getting a lot of nitric oxide. There's a filter through the nose, so it's they call it smart breathing. That's how I've been
Yeah.
taught it. Cerebral spinal fluid. But I noticed that as well. Every now and then I'll just go to the in through the nose, out through the mouth, or the breath of fire in through the nose, out through the nose really fast. And again, it's incredible brain function, the neurological effects that it has, the effects that I feel in my body, very charging. It's incredible, eh? And it's what I love about it is we're not selling anything. It's just a technique that you can use using the life force energy that's all around us. I love to think of it as how fish are swimming in the water. Like
Yeah.
the fish are quite unaware of the water, even though they need it for survival. We're
Yeah.
literally immersed in this life force energy. We're in it right now, and we need to honor it. It's an
Yeah.
incredible thing to honor, and it really makes you understand that we're electrical beings. A lot of the people that I listen to and a lot of the books I read, it talks a lot about how we're electrical beings before we're chemical beings, and the chemical body responds first to the electrical responses. And you understand that when you do breath work. When you do breath work, you understand it experientially.
Good point. I mean, you literally feel like you raise your vibration after breath work. So your vibration is raised. If your vibration is raised, you're going to be on the vibration of higher vibrations. So you're going to like kind of attract higher vibrations into your life. Like it's that simple. Whatever wavelength you're tuned into, you will get for the rest of the day. And all you
Totally.
need to do is a quick 5-minute breath work to wake you up. So Kyle, you mentioned a minute ago, which some people might not know about, is the sympathetic and the parasympathetic.
Yes.
And so when people are breathing in their sympathetic into their chest, like they're always in a car crash or they're just taking off or landing on a flight, that kind of nervousness all day, that's how you approach also everything else in your life. I always put things into that perspective.
Mm.
So then when we go into our diaphragm and we breathe into our under our rib cage and let our lungs expand, automatically your body goes into down the nervous system and it relaxes, rests and digests our whole body and our mind. And what was I going to touch base on then? So that's kind of the zone we want to be in, is the rest and digest before we approach anything. And when I take my strength group through this who've never done it before, and they witness their body just relaxing, just fully grounding themselves just through the breath. Now they're all asking me to do a 5-minute warm up with the fire breath
Yes.
every morning. So I'll do fire breath one day, then do Wim Hof, fire breath, Wim Hof, and I alternate it. And the point I was going to get to is people don't actually understand how to breathe through their abdomen, through their full breath through the bottom here. And some people say they can't even access that part of
Mm.
breathing, and it's really, I find it quite hard to believe. So I think that's the best stomach muscle you can create, is work on, is your abdominal breathing. Allow your stomach to stick out, and they're allowed. So that's what I try and teach people first of all, is their abdominal diaphragm breathing.
Yeah, how do you teach that too, bro? Because it's an interesting subject, eh? And because you're wanting your stomach to expand as you're filling up, um, the body with oxygen.
Yeah.
I always like to imagine that I'm breathing from my pelvis, and I'm almost. Is there a sense of like pushing your stomach out forcefully as you breathe?
Yeah.
How do you explain it?
So I always just do the fingers test. I just get them to put their fingers under their ribs, under the two fingers under their rib cage here. And then I'll just get them to breathe out so their lungs push their fingers out. So it's just, and then exhale and feel your fingers suck in. And the optimum way of knowing you're doing a diaphragm breath is if you put your fingers onto your kidneys.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And that your lungs should expand through to your lower back. And then you're getting the full, and a lot of moves in yoga you can feel this, and you can access that full deep breath. But I can feel that now. Now what that's creating is circulation for your adrenal glands, your blood circulating through your lower back. If you've got lower back injuries or pain, you want
Mm.
warm blood through there, and that full breath is kind of is what I get people to try and experience.
Beautiful. Yeah, and it comes back to the whole self-awareness thing too. We're becoming more aware of our body and what this human mechanism is, eh? And you just reminded me of a few things. I don't want to go off too much on a tangent, but I read a book, The Cycle of Samatha. So there's Samatha and Vipassana, which is the kind of the two qualities of meditation through the Buddhist lens. And Samatha, they talk very much about breathing and feeling the breathing in different parts of the body. So I bring my awareness to the palm of my hand, and I sit there until I can start to feel the subtle shifts in my hand with my breath. And you start realizing that your whole body is like this breathing organism. It's like you can feel
Wow.
the dance going on, eh? You know, and if you
I'm
can
gonna do
start,
that. Like
oh,
it.
it's powerful, man. You start at your feet and you work your way up, and then eventually you become your whole body. You feel your whole body shifting with the in and the out breath. And you know, there's the oxygen is going into your lungs, it's diffusing into the blood, it's going into the heart, it's charging up the blood, and it's getting circulated around the body. That's when things like qigong and tai chi come in, where I'm doing a slow movement integrated with the breath, and I'm literally cycling this qi or prana life force or oxygen or whatever you want to call it around the body, which is creating a well-functioning human being. And that always ties the awareness until you notice the awareness becomes still, becomes centered, and it's so beautiful. And just to really come back to that center point of the breath, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're sympathetic breathing, you're breathing through the mind. So if you're unconsciously breathing, you're breathing through the head, which means your thoughts will come through your head. And so you're responding with an ego mind, you know. But as soon as you breathe into your diaphragm, you can breathe into your heart space and into your soul space. So your reactions come from that point. Now, it's shown that like the vibrations from our heart is 5,000 times stronger energetically, and with the magnification field, it's 5,000 times stronger than any energy part in our body. So if we want to really get the answer to a question, then we do the deep breathing. We breathe into our heart space, and what is our heart telling us? What's the real answer? What not the fear and the fight or flight answer, but the actual answer that we're looking for. So that's what I'll do. So I'm looking for an answer in life as well. I'll be like, okay, well, I'm gonna take my 6 breaths and I'm gonna breathe into my heart and see what my heart's telling me.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. And that reminds me of Dr. Joe Dispenza, talking about.
That's where I got it from.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man, you know, and that's the heart math studies on the electromagnetic field that the heart creates. And, you know, Dr. Joe says that the brain may think, but the heart knows, because the heart is really the core of who we are, you know, and we can reverse engineer that with gratitude and things that are going to like increase that field. And you can feel it, you know, you feel it with your emotions, you feel it energetically. And like you said, to breathe energy into the heart, we're literally coming into probably, I guess, what the Taoists would call body wisdom. You know, there's so much wisdom and awareness in the body, in the gut, in the heart, the spine, the axis of the universe, really bringing our awareness back into this body wisdom that knows a lot more than the brain does, than the mind does, you know. We get so caught up in here, as you said, in the shallow breathing, but when we start getting into these deeper layers of the body and the heart, then you realize there's like a massive field of awareness here, or a field of wisdom here, that we have access to, that is a lot more in alignment with who we truly are, and a lot more in alignment with where we want to go and what we truly want. And yeah, it's a powerful journey to be on, bro. And I feel like it's just a constant evolution. Part of why I want to share as well is I'm just on a journey now, and this is part of what's helping me grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, totally agree with you on all levels. And just like my little daughter coming and joining me and joining in with me right now, being present in your children's life is so important. So if I'm interacting with my kids, I will breathe and get myself present. So I'm with them and I'm listening to them, and I'm fully aware of them being with me. So if they come and talk to me, rather than me thinking, let's say yesterday, oh, I'm going to do my podcast with Kyle, what am I going to do? If they're going to come up to me, I'll be like, right, let me breathe into my heart space. So I'm there and I'm present with them. That's how powerful the breath is. Takes you out of here and into your heart.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. I'm just seeing what notes I got written down from what you were saying a minute ago.
Yeah, we've done pretty well to cover a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and like what I was gonna say is, like, myself, I'm speaking myself and probably you as well, but we're just sharing years of information into the best logical understanding way that we can share it with people just entering onto this journey, or people wishing to enhance their spiritual journey also in a physical way. So we're bringing a balance into a spiritual person's life, but also we're bringing a logical way into someone that's new to this, without having to read all the books, go to Peru, go to Bali. We want this for you to be at home to understand it.
Absolutely, bro. And I think a lot of it's about straightforward guidance and inspiration, you know, like even doing a podcast with you, like you inspire me as well. You know, you're posting inspirational stuff every day, and it's like, I need that because it helps my momentum, you know, just like doing breathwork in the morning helps the momentum of my day. I need the inspiration to go, what was Rich and Kyle talking about with all that breathwork stuff? I might actually look it up. And as soon as you try it, then you go, wow, that was powerful. And then that sets you off on a whole nother course. And so I think about just sharing our passion for this knowledge as well. The more I share my passion, my authentic passion, the more people might resonate with it and think that there's definitely something here to look at, And it's about coming back to those foundational pillars again, like we said, movement, breath, nutrition, having a life path, having really good goal setting and knowing what you want in life. It all helps, and you start to really become a lot more balanced, eh?
Yeah, and it's always the rebound, like the effect of like you inspiring me. Like I wouldn't probably have anyone else to share this with right now, because you're really inspiring me to get my workout. But you share things with me because you know what I like.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I had a profound realization, because awareness with my breath, present moment, living this life. I feel like I'm in an enlightened state which I can tap into any minute of the day, no matter what's ahead of me. And I'm like, yeah, man, like I feel that I've got it and I've mastered it until you shared that clip with me. And the guy was like, yeah, until you're fully sharing your love and your passion and you're doing it every second of the day, as in your present awareness, then you're living your dharma, then you're living your truth, And I'm like, shit, I've got more work to do, which made me realize I've got some more releasing to do, Kyle. I've got conditioning, which is making me feel vulnerable about sharing my truth. I've got conditioning from the past, which I need to tap into and let go of that. There's got to be some kind of confidence thing, and otherwise I would be sharing this talk right now live.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's so beautiful, bro. And for someone like you to share that, that's so cool. And I love how you mentioned Dharma, because that's been coming up for me as well, And interestingly, that's my son's name. My son's name is Dharmakaya. And I went on my first Buddhist retreat 13 years ago. So I went on a silent retreat 13 years ago, and so I understand Dharma, but it's only been coming up for me recently. And it's been like, wow, like the Dharma is your path of truth. It's like you could say it's your soul's purpose or what you're here to do. And for me, it's like, here I am, I'm running a martial arts dojo. I'm empowering people with, to get over any kind of like insecurities and move out of their comfort zone and get them fit, get them healthy, get them into a place where there's like a good vibration going on and positive vibes. But now I'm like, wow, like it's actually, this is my platform for teaching people a holistic model of developing your self-awareness and developing your faculties and taking back your sovereignty, and becoming who you truly are. And
Yeah,
that is my path of Dharma. And I know it, but just because I know it doesn't mean that I'm living my full expression yet.
I know.
I just know where to go. I know what
Yeah,
direction I'm wanting to go, but I think the more we become our authentic self, the more this three-dimensional polarized world, this world of duality is always going to present us with challenges that are going to force us to look into ourselves even deeper and even deeper. And it's
yeah.
just a constant learning, eh?
And that's what me and Carlos sharing right now. And the first way, the best way to access this, your true self, is by your breath.
Yep.
See, that's your first access into your breath. And then I believe after you've mastered that breath, which I haven't, but I'm still on the path of like mastering that breath, and because that is my medicine. But then we can go into the mind, the meditation, and then fix the breath to the mind, and then go into your mastering your body. Once you've mastered the inside, then you can master the outside. That's the way I would approach life if I was to be reborn. I'd go back to front: breath, mind, body.
Yep, absolutely, bro. And you'll probably agree with this too. I think it's Paul Chek who has the echo concept, the idea of the echo that's always coming back to you. And like for me, the easiest way for me to explain it is nutrition, right? So I start eating really well, I start eating all the right food, and I start eating at the right time, and I start feeling really good. My body starts feeling really energized, and I have all this mental clarity. And then I just go and have a cheat day, and I eat pizza and I eat fizzy or whatever it is, whatever your poison is. And then you have a massive crash, and you feel like shit. and all the rest of it. And
Reminder.
it's the big reminder, oh no, I need to be eating well, but you need to be tuned into your body first before you realize what's not good for you. Because
Yeah,
if you're just used to the same thing, you just think it's normal. This is how I feel every day. I usually get tired around 2 o'clock without thinking, is that because I'm stuffing carbs into my mouth for lunch, And then when you start tuning into how your body should be treated and how well it feels, then you start going, okay, this is how I know I should be eating. And that echo keeps coming back to you, and you gain stronger and stronger discipline and momentum with keeping that. But I think it's the same thing with, like, if I don't drink my salt water in the morning, or if I don't do breath work, then I feel different. I notice the difference now because I'm doing it so often. I can tell the difference between when I do it and when I don't. Same with meditation, same with getting a good training session in during the day, Like, I feel awesome after a good train. I feel strong. If I don't get it in, I notice the difference, So that's that whole eco thing. So we start developing these practices that are self-enhancing, and then it's the balancing act and the dance of trying to really integrate it into our lives, and embodying this lifestyle.
totally. And this brings me right back to what you mentioned at the beginning about you doing your breath work first thing in the morning. This is what I found. People are more in tune with their cars than their body. Okay, they understand more about their cars than they do their own body. Like it or not, this is our vehicle of life. So this vehicle from start to finish, and what we do with it in between is what adventure we can have. So what you just said is, like, how would you start your car up in the morning if you went down there and like started bumping it and pushing it, but the way the breath fires your body up. If that is the initial startup system, fire the insides up, kickstart it, get it working. I love that's what I say to my strength class. Let's fire our bodies up from the inside, create the heat, create the energy. Like you say, your heart rate, your blood pressure, everything is balanced just through this breathing. And then you go and then you add your mineral salt, just like your car. If your car was you to start it and you put sludgy oil in there and you put like dirty water in there and you had all rusty pistons and stuff, then that's how your car's going to perform. And it's exactly the same with our body. That's how logical it is.
Yep, totally. The body is the foundation, and like you said, like, I don't like to get too spiritual on things because everybody has their own understanding. And whether it's a soul or a higher self or consciousness, or whether it's just your own awareness, when you transcend that kind of conceptual mind, and when you kind of get out of that stressful state, the body has so much wisdom. The body is so powerful. Like, it's like fasting, like when you fast, you don't eat for 3 days. Suddenly you have so much clarity. There's so much clarity in the body, and it's like, where is this coming from? Like, this thing, it functions so well. Like, it's amazing how powerful this body is. And like you said, a lot of people are more worried about how their car's functioning. They're more worried about how their car's functioning. It's like,
Yeah.
you're literally a powerful cosmic suit that's hurtling through infinite space. Take a deep breath and feel powerful, because you are. We're powerful beings who are co-creators of this earth.
Yeah, man.
And to really tap into that and feel the power of your own creativity and essence, it's something really profound. And like I said, whatever it is for you, whatever that thing is for you that you want to say is your essence, that has to interface through your biochemistry and your neurochemistry. So
Your filter.
your filter, yeah. So the body is the foundation. The body has to be the foundation, eh?
Yeah, totally. And the more you tune in, the more you tune into your body, the more energy it will give you. That is the fact. If you tune into your breath, if you tune into your exercise, it will give you quadruple energy back to enjoy the rest of your day. You give it that bit of time, and you give it 1 hour's time every morning, and it'll give you 12 hours of energy, positivity, clarity. That's how simple it is.
Yep, totally, brother. Love it. I think
Yeah.
that's about 50 minutes, bro. Fuck,
Yeah,
that
it's
was
cool.
awesome, man. I feel like we nailed that one. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't go off. We didn't go off any too many tangents. We kept on the breath. I think we did. We did good.
yeah. That's the thing with you and me, bro. Like we're so alike. I could go down so many different paths with you, but it's nice to just go. Today we're going to talk about breath work. So when it comes to breath work, we can listen to this one. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
awesome, brother.
Next time we'll do probably fitness and training.
Yep.
We'll go on medicine journeys. We're going to do all sorts. I can't wait to share this. Yeah, I've got 45 minutes just came up on my timer, so that's perfect.
Beautiful.
Shall we finish? Shall we just let everyone rest? Shall we do 6 deep breaths and just take everyone into their 6 senses?
Perfect, bro. Lead us.
So this is a very powerful, easy technique I use every morning with the people who are not spiritual. They're just there on their journey. After their workout, I get them just to tune in, tap into their body, and just be grateful for it. So we do a diaphragm breath in, and we'll breathe in for maybe for 4 seconds. Then I'll hold for 4 seconds, and then I'll breathe out for probably 6 or 8. Yeah, 6 to 8 seconds. Just try and keep up with me. So I go through the 6 senses: touch, and I can do this by remembering. I'll go touch, I'll move my way up. I'll go taste, I'll move my way up. I'll go smell, I'll move my way to my eyes. I'll move my way to my hearing, and then I'll go finally to my consciousness, to my my third eye. And so just close our eyes. Just tap into your breath. Now breathe through your diaphragm. Let your stomach expand. Breathe out. Now, the first breath in is we're going to be grateful for our touch. Imagine this is the first chance you've got to experience life. So breathe in. Pause. I'm so grateful for my touch. Imagine coming into this body for the first time. You can touch your fingers. And breathe out and be grateful for that. Deep breath in. To your taste. Your favorite fruits, drinks. Breathe out. I'm so grateful for my taste. Breathe in. Smell. The trees around me, the fresh air, the breeze, the ocean, sea, the freshly cut grass. Breathe out. Breathe in. Eyesight. Your favorite horizon, mountains, hills, the ocean, the magic of the colors that we can see. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hearing. The birds in the background, your children playing, the breeze, the ocean waves.
Yeah.
Breathing in. And our emotional sixth sense, our heart, the love we have for our children, our loved ones, our pets, and our life. Breathing into your heart and be grateful for your heart and your health. And breathe out. And just gently opening your eyes and just feeling yourself in this present moment. And that's just a little 5-minute practice I get my clients to do, yeah, and just bring them into their spiritual self.
Beautiful, bro. So much gratitude for that. It's such a powerful, simple exercise there. And that's the kind of things we want to empower people with. So awesome, brother. That was cool. I can't wait to do it again. I think this is awesome that we can do this.
Yeah, man. Let's get this ball rolling. So my daughter's just hopped on and I've got to take 6 deep breaths because she's moved all my stuff around.
That's cool, bro.
Sweet, brother. That was amazing.
Awesome.